And of course, I shared the poster earlier. It's called Eco Tour in Nigeria's Highest Point. And of course, I have Fumi Oyatogun in the house. I also have Ade Dotun Ajibade. Fumi is a geologist. She's an environmentalist, and she's the founder of TVP Adventures. Ade Dotun Ajibade is a nature photographer. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. You know, when I saw the post, Fumi, I was so excited. I'm like, wow, you know, this is my dream. But of course, I'm on a break. I want to enjoy it now. Enjoy it now before the kids come. You know, just live that life. So for me, thank you very much. I'll start with you. What inspired? I know you've been doing this for so long. Why did you decide to go to Nigeria's highest point, the peak?
Okay, thanks, Ugochi. First of all, I'm a geographer, not a geologist, because I don't want people to come asking me questions about rocks that I can't answer. So yeah, what inspired me to climb Nigeria's highest mountain? First of all, the fact that it's there was enough of an inspiration. A few years ago, when I actually found out more about the mountain, I decided that I wanted to climb it. But then one thing or the other has sort of interrupted my plans over the last 3-4 years. And so finally it was ripe, you know, this March for us to do it. And we put all the plans together. I have climbed a few mountains, a few pretty big mountains. I've climbed Mount Cameroon, Mount Kenya, which is the second highest in Africa, and Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the highest in Africa. So for me, it was very important to me that I climb our own highest mountain. Chapawadi is the highest mountain in both Nigeria and West Africa. A lot of people tend to say Mount Cameroon, but Mount Cameroon is actually in Central Africa. So it's very important for me to, you know, explore it because it was there. As a geographer, as somebody who loves mountain climbing, I wanted to explore it because it was there. But the thing that really sort of pushed me over the edge was the fact that I didn't know about this mountain until a few years ago. And I know that a lot of people did not know about the mountain. And that's just because there wasn't enough information about it. I'm so sorry. I just lost electricity.
It's okay. We understand.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people didn't know about it. And for me, as somebody who runs a travel company who's trying to make tourism accessible to everybody, I was sort of disappointed that there was not information about this mountain. So for me, apart from just going to explore it, it was important that I also use that opportunity to bring down as much information as I could, so that anybody who wanted to hike it can get you know, access the mountain a lot easier than I did, because it took quite a while to put this together. So it was very important that, you know, we bring back as much information, potentially, you know, ease the ecosystem to get there, make it more accessible, work with partners along the way, find out the cost, just give. Nobody has to go through what we went through to be able to access this mountain. It should be a lot easier.
And then you wrote something, and you said Nigerians, or as kids, were told about former presidents, even presidents of France and the US. And no one tells us about the mountains. You know, the hills in Nigeria, the rivers and the oceans. I mean, apart from the little words we sang in primary school, the mountains. Yeah. I didn't also know about this mountain. I know, you know, I remember I was working with Aso Radio, Abuja, when you interviewed me for Bayleaf. I was with Aso Radio, and Aso Radio is located at the highest point in Abuja. Yes. They said it's the center of Nigeria and is the highest point in the city. Yes. So when I saw this, the highest point in Nigeria, I was excited to hear about it. So tell us, why were you concerned that we talk about, you know, the presidents, but never about our mountains and our natural heritage?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the reason is. I just know that it's a problem that we need to fix, right? There's not a lot. We don't do very well when it comes to teaching about our own history, our own environment, and the few information, or the little information that students are given, it's almost as if they're given just enough so they can pass WAEC and keep it moving. There isn't a thirst for information about our natural landscapes, our cultural landscapes, our historical landscapes. And that's a challenge, right? It's cool to know about Mount Kilimanjaro. It's cool to know about Mount Kenya. It's cool to know about the River Nile. But it's important to know about, you know, our rivers, our mountains. This is the highest mountain. It's a landmark. It's a big deal. It should be a focal point of our geography, and it should be a focal point of our tourism because
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities. And then, of course, there's also the unfortunate reality that it is located right at the corner of Nigeria in the northeast in Taraba State, which that entire area, maybe not specifically Taraba, but the entire region of the northeast has been plagued with, insecurity, perception of insecurity, and so on and so forth. So
Mm.
it's sort of very remote. It's a very, very remote mountain. And I think that has contributed to the problem of
Okay.
poor information.
Okay. I'll ask you, Ajibade Adedotun, when you heard about this trip, why were you excited about it? Of course, you were excited as a nature photographer. What excited you about it?
Yeah, you could just call me Dotun. It's fine. Yeah. What for every new trip, I look forward to new things I can find. Yeah, the biodiversity in the area, birds, wildlife, what have you. The landscape too. Landscape, the geography of the area, anything, everything natural, and sometimes the people and their lifestyle. So for this trip, it was really exciting to look forward to all of that, to look forward to what that location had to offer, natural resources, and the climb itself. It was something that's really
I
exciting
think,
to look forward to, and
yeah.
what the summits, being at the summits, will feel like.
Yeah, and you took, of course, you took photos of birds. You sent me some photos. Could you talk about the photos you sent to me? That's one of them.
Okay, yeah, birds were the most prominent wildlife or biodiversity we encountered along the way, and it was really fun watching them, fly around in that sort of desolate landscape. There were bee eaters, there were swallows, ones I've never seen before. Yeah, there were vultures. There's a very there's a
Yeah,
thriving population of vultures up there, like at the summits. They're circling all around. So it's really exciting. Vultures are getting extinct.
yeah.
Yeah, NCF and a lot of green
Mhm.
organizations, they are really doing a lot of campaign in the urban areas for vultures. So it was so nice seeing vultures just flying around, soaring around. Yeah, there are also buzzards, and I spotted an owl. There was an owl. It was really exciting, and maybe the cliff chats and crows too. I was surprised to see crows, pied crows, the one with the white white neck. There are so many of them up there, like 2,490 meters
Wow.
above sea level. Like, I was wondering, guys, what are you doing here? I thought you just stay in the town around humans.
That's the beauty of nature. You talked
Yeah,
about
that's it.
vultures and going extinct, and it's important to mention that a lot
Yeah.
of the vulture that we see probably in southwest and southeast, they actually come from the north. A lot of them are taken, killed in the north of Nigeria, and then sold to,
Wow.
herbalists,
Wow.
yeah, in the south of Nigeria. So for
Yeah.
me,
Yes.
you
I've
took
never known.
some beautiful pictures. You went with was it easy to convince people to come along with you? Understanding the security issue in Nigeria, of course, in the north of Nigeria, northeast of Nigeria. Was it easy to convince people to go with you? We understand. Don't worry. Just it's dark, but we can see your pretty face.
I'm so sorry. Like, I don't think I'm trying to get somebody's attention to actually turn on the generator. I'm so sorry.
So
Um,
if you're watching live, please turn on Fumi's generator.
so, yeah. So basically, well, initially when I wanted to climb, it was the plan was it would just be me and Dotun, because I really wanted Dotun to come around, for a lot of the like nature, the landscapes, and so on and so forth. And then we also wanted to work on a documentary as well. So I had somebody who works on video on my team, and that person was part of the team. So it was just three of us. We were planning for a few months, but then the people who had been talking about this mountain to for years now found out, and they were like, "Are you okay?" So no, I didn't have to convince anybody. As a matter of fact, I had to close the group to some people because I really wanted to keep it small. It was important that it wasn't and tease about what we're going to experience when we got there. There was no way for me to know if we were going to run over budget. Everybody just brought their own money for the raw cost. It wasn't a package trip or anything. It was such an expedition. It was such an unknown journey that I wanted my friends, people that I knew, people that I trusted, and people who were up for the thrill and whatever disappointments we might face on the way. So no, I had to shut people out of the trip, unfortunately. I had to sort of say, I'm sorry, you can't come this time. It's small. Next time when we know exactly what happens there, then you can come.
Yeah, it was the first time. You also posted a picture. You said your vehicle broke down and you took this beautiful photo. Tell us about it and that experience.
We had been in this rugged Mambila Jeep for hours. It was so uncomfortable. Dr. can testify because he has long legs like me. It was so uncomfortable. It was horrible. Like there was dust. When I say, like, imagine, Ugochi, imagine if you've put on foundation, but you've put on foundation everywhere on your body, but that's dust. That's how we were coated in dust. Yes, it was bad. Like, this is the hair that I took with me, right? It's it's brown and gray. It was all brown by the time we arrived. Yeah, all the gray was brown. That's how crazy it was. So we had been in that car for hours.
And you were not on a bike. You were not on a bike. It was a vehicle.
Yes, it was a vehicle. So we had different stops. There was a part we were on bike for 4 hours. There was another part we were in the Jeep for 6 hours. Like, it was a long journey. It was 8 days. But it was fun. But anyway, this particular Mambila Jeep was the worst of it all, right? So we had been on that road for hours. And the car kept breaking down, and we kept on giving her energy. We called her Wadina. We named her after Chapawadi. So we called her Wadina. And we're just like, girl, you got this. You can do this. You can do this. So she broke down, and we were trying to fix her one of the numerous times. And we just came down to stretch our legs. And then one of the photographers, I think it was maybe Kingsley and Dotso, I'm not really sure. They noticed that, oh my gosh, the sun is setting. And so we're just taking nice sunset photos, and then one or two movements, and then we're like, oh, we can capture the sun, and we all got that pose. It was incredible. It was a nice break until the car was ready, and then we continued the last stretch of the journey.
Yeah, Dotun, you've been on trips like this, and Dotun, I met you at in Cross River State. I had gone to film Green Angle at what's it called? Boki. And then I saw this photographer.
Okay, yes.
And I was like, what are you doing here? And he said, oh, I just came down from the mountain. I'm like, woo, what was it like? And he told me. And I had him on the show. I interviewed him and I had him on Green Angle, just like that, abruptly like that. And I know how long that trip took us, about 8 hours. But you said 8 days. That's a long one. For you, have you been on any trip that treacherous, Dotun? Oh, I think we lost him.
What happened to his network?
So Fumi, I'll ask you why we try to connect with him. Have you been on any trip that treacherous?
Hello?
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, so have you been on any trip that as treacherous as the one, to see the peak of Nigeria, the highest peak? Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
So for me,
okay, I'll go. So.
Hello?
Yes.
Oops. Fumi and Dotun go on. Okay, can you, so Dotun, go ahead.
Fumi is gone.
Yes, go ahead now.
Yes. Please, what's the question again?
I've asked, have you been on any journey as difficult
Please,
as
what's
the
the
one?
question?
Any journey as difficult as the one to go see the highest point in Nigeria?
Okay. Yes, I have, and strangely or ironically, it's still at this location. How do I put it? Okay, I attempted this climb in 2019.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, so I used it was kind of a similar trip where I came up the Plateau, came to Mambila Plateau, then from Gembo, I went to Chapawadi with a friend and a tour guide. But this time we used bikes on the road instead of the Mambila Jeep. And the ride, we just got to the foot of the mountain, but we couldn't climb.
Why?
And that turned. The total.
Oh my.
Hour spent on bike was.
Hello, Dotun. Oh, what is going on? Fumi, Dotun. Fumi, can you try to reconnect? Well, I'll quickly keep showing you the photos from the trip while we wait for them to reconnect. This. Oh my.
That night. So that was the experience. Really, really rough. During the return trip at night, we feared for the worst. We feared the worst, especially with concerning security.
Mm-hmm.
You know that period was like I was really happy. I was really happy. Nothing went bad.
How many days were you there?
Otherwise, if it could have gone bad, I was just ready to.
Hello?
About 4 nights.
4 nights.
About 4 nights.
Oh my. I wish we could have Fumi back. But I think we have people saying hi. I have Knowledge El Shabazz. Thank you very much. Henry Osaka, thank you. iPop Netherlands, thank you. Oh, I've lost both Fumi and Aditotin. Oh my God, what is going on? I'll keep sharing the photos and let's hope we can reconnect with them. That's Fumi. Also, Fumi here holding Nigerian flag. And I mean, they actually made history. They put the first signpost there. Okay, Dotun is back. Hello, Dotun.
Hello?
Yeah, you were disconnected for a bit.
Because it's muddy. Yes. Because it's muddy, it's
Go
just
ahead.
brown.
Hello?
Or orange. And it
Okay, Fumi said her laptop.
Whenever anyone visits the Mambila place.
Yeah, Fumi, we can do without video, maybe just your voice, if you can hear me.
Brown River Valley against the Green Hills or
Oh, man. Can you hear me, Dotun? Hello? Oops. It is unbelievable. I think Fumi is trying to sign back on.
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead. We've never had it this crappy before. Well, I think if you want to see more of this trip, you can also follow Fumi on her Twitter handle at Fumi Oyatogun. You'd find. Oh, okay. So can you hear me?
Actually, close the real chapter. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, it was really good before we started. What's going on? I think it's better. Go ahead, Dawson.
Okay. Okay. So there are so many other attractions, like wonderful rock formations. There, because of the climate, they very, very wonderful or unique crops are grown here. It's a temperate climate, so we plants like or vegetables or fruits like strawberry, apple. Yes, the tea too is grown on the plateau. So those are other attractions to be seen on the plateau. And
Did you go
yeah,
with,
of course, it's very cold. So that's something that
people should be aware of? I think Fumi is back. We're not exploring that much in Nigeria, did also. Can you hear me? Why did you go with Babajide Abola? Is another interesting nature.
No, not this time. He hasn't. Yes, yes. He hasn't. I'm not sure he has been to the Mambila Plateau yet. Maybe because there are no wildlife here.
To photograph. But tell me about your work with him, meeting him, learning from him. What has the experience been for you? What a wonderful night.
Ever since, yes, he's a very adventurous person. So there is also a lake, a man-made lake. It's called a Sijin Lake. That's another wonderful attraction. Yeah, very serene. It's next to the tea farm, the Mambila tea farm at Kakara. Yeah, that's it.
Then, but I think she's also trying to.
In fact, traveling down to Gembu is a wonderful experience on its own, because you just have the road and you have this endless view of greenery on both sides. So you're just watching and you're just excited as your vehicle drives down the road on the mountains down.
So when the vehicle broke down, were you worried for a moment?
Down to Gembu.
Oh man.
Gembu is the most populous settlement on the Mambila Plateau. Well, no, I wasn't. It's kind of peace that there's no fear for kidnap or robbery or anything. It's just like the trip from Ebu to but it was where we used the Mambila Jeep. and maybe during the time, I was just having some funny thoughts. I was just having some funny thoughts well, it wasn't so serious, but just a little more
It's
concerned.
normal. You'll be concerned.
Concerned about, if they just eventualities, I don't know, because I had it was the first time visit to Chapawadi and the climb. So I just had some uncertainties. Okay, what's it going to be like? What are the likely dangers?
Hello?
Could my greatest fear was,
I'm so sorry. Everything.
There are points.
Yes, it's okay.
Welcome back for me.
Welcome back.
It's okay. My greatest fear was falling off. While we were on the bikes heading down to the mountain at the foot of the village at the foot of the mountain, the road, the trail, it takes the sides, the edges of the hills, so it winds around the hills. So looking down, you just have valleys. It's just a very steep slope going down. And if you could fall from your bike, it's over. You just keep rolling. You could roll for as long as 2 minutes before you get to the bottom. So that was a big fear for me. Fortunately, the bike riders, the cyclists, they are experts, because that's their town. That's what they do for a living. So we had no such of that kind of accident. Yeah.
And it's too risky to film while on that bike.
Sorry.
No, it's not while on the bike.
Sorry, come again.
It's too risky to film. I'll be like, oh, can I just take a picture and maybe take a video while on the bike? But it's too risky to do that.
Oh yes, it is. It is. In fact, we packed our cameras. You just pack your camera because of the dust. It was dusty at the time. You just what you're thinking of is just protecting yourself. Covering your face. Wearing maybe an eyewear to keep the dust out, because
it was too much. I think before we have another bad disconnection, let's just quickly go to World Water Day. Fumi, what does water mean to you?
I'm really sorry. Everything that could go wrong today has gone wrong. Everything. I'm so sorry. This heavy rain, it just started raining heavily, and literally everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, including issues with the generator. So anyway, World Water Day. Yes, what were you saying?
So what does water mean to you? Water is life.
Water is life, but literally water is life, because anybody who knows me knows how incredibly at peace I am with water, and how I enjoy water. I thrive by water. I really have a lot of regard for water as a part of our ecosystem. So I just can't imagine a life without water. I can't imagine a world where we didn't have rivers, we didn't have streams or lakes, we didn't have the ocean to dive into and explore, we didn't have drinking water, fresh water sources. So water is very important. I remember when we were climbing this mountain, we wanted to sleep at the summit, but we couldn't, because we had to look for a water bed, a water bank, so that we can have a water supply. So we took some bottled water with us, but we were depending on a lot of the streams to hydrate while we were climbing, and the water was fresh, it was pristine. And so I'm just really thankful that we have water. And I can imagine if we didn't, it would have completely changed the dynamics of our experience. And I guess it's an opportunity for me to just sort of remind everybody that we have to protect our water sources, not just in the way that we think, but in the way that when we're thinking long-term development, we need to do it in a way that protects our water sources. Because I was thinking about the mountain and how it's so pristine. There's no plastic pollution, there's no pollution of any sort, right? But if we, our lovely species, lived on that mountain for another 100 years, who knows what could happen to the water source,
Yeah. But you wrote to all my kids. Oh my word. Can you hear them?
Yes, we can hear them, and they're welcome. Hi.
Stop. Close that door. Thank you. What's the difference between a river, a lake, an ocean, and the sea?
Great question. So I asked that question. Thunder. I asked that question today. In general, there are exceptions, of course, but in general, a river is a flowing water body. So usually streams are small rivers. A river is a water body that flows, is continuously moving from one place to another. Um, and it's usually, it's not usually not the widest body of water. A lake is usually a standing body of water, meaning like think of a puddle, but on a large scale. It's standing. It might have a source and it might have a bowl of water. If you think of a lake as a bowl as opposed to a flowing body. The ocean and the sea. Usually, seas are smaller oceans typically, but in general, sea and ocean are used interchangeably. So the ocean, I mean, there are 5 oceans, and so the ocean is a much larger body of water that separates continents, and is usually salty, right? So rivers are usually fresh water, oceans are usually salty water, so are seas. And then sometimes you have freshwater lakes and sometimes you have saltwater lakes, depending on the sources from which they get their from, depending on where they get their source from. But yeah, does that help clarify the difference between all of them?
Well, we'll ask you because you asked and we asked you. We
Yeah.
joined back.
No, I'm saying, does that help? Does that help clarify? Does that answer?
I think that helps. I think that helps. And so
Okay.
to you, Dottie, what does water mean to you?
Water is life. Yeah, water is life. When we visited, water is life. When we visited the Chapawari, it's about the tail end of the dry season, so everywhere was just brown,
just bare.
brown. Right now, a day after we descended, the rain started, and there's been continuous rain since, and everything's turning green. That's an indication of life-giving quality of water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it essentially for me. Water brings life.
And do you dream of being an underwater photographer? Because that's my dream,
No.
Wait, Ngozi, did you say that's your
being
dream?
An underwater photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You do that someday. So, Dalton, do you think about that? Do you wish to do that someday?
Yes, I think about it. But to do it effectively, I'll need to learn how to swim properly, or be a good scuba diver.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's a lot of creativity that can be explored underwater. Yeah, there's a lot of life forms to be seen. There's underwater landscape too that needs to be seen, not just the one above the water or above sea level. Yeah, there's life, a lot of sights underwater.
Yeah. For me also, you all made history. You and your friends, you put up a signpost. That was the first. That was the first. And you were not the first person visiting there, of course, but you're the first to put up that post, the signpost.
Yeah, we did. It was very important to us that we created that landmark, and we're very proud of it.
Did you think? Oh, you said you got permission to do that before you went, so it means you asked questions first.
Yeah, we did. We asked questions. I mean, the mountain is in a national park. We can't just go and put something up there. So we told them what we wanted to do. Wanted to donate the sign, and they said go for it, and we did it.
Wow. It's really interesting. That means that we need to go out more. We need to explore other parts of Nigeria. We do. We need to explore other parts of Nigeria. Now let's talk about your fill in the blank. What is that about? The cards.
So fill in the blank. I feel like I should just turn off my video because it's just a nightmare. Fill in the blank. So sorry?
It's good. We can see you very clearly now.
Okay. Fill in the Black is a game that we created in August. I think we launched in August. So we created this game because we wanted an experience that didn't require getting on a phone, on a plane, and because everybody was locked down for the pandemic, and we wanted a way for people to sort of connect with each other. We wanted something that was culturally integrating, that helped connect cultures, that helped Black people celebrate their Blackness, and not just in an American way or in a Nigerian way or in a Kenyan way, but that could sort of help all get Black people talking to each other. And yeah, so we did that, and it just took off because I guess the timing was right and people were looking for something like that. So yeah, that's what happened essentially.
And so, do you plan to take more? Well, congratulations on that. We've seen,
Thank you.
yeah, we've seen people buying and playing, and that's
Thank
I'm sure you're really happy to see all of that happening in such a short space of time.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm very, very thankful for that opportunity, I would say. The opportunity to just like be part of people's like fun experiences, and it's a family friendly game. So it's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
So, Dr. What would you say to other young, I think we should just round off because the internet is so crappy. It should have been 1 hour, but we probably should end.
I feel like we need to do this again properly because oh my gosh, everything that could go wrong went wrong today.
Yeah, it's okay. So, Dr. for young persons who are watching you and they want to be nature photographers, what would you say to them?
Okay.
Yes. It's difficult and advice right now, but I think I'll just be positive. Yeah, you need to be sure it's what you want to do. Nature photography, you need to be sure it's what you want to do. It's not something you just dabble in because maybe you have a camera. You really need to be passionate about it. Yeah, you have to discover yourself first, then know you're passionate about it before you can fully delve into it. So
Be certain it's what you want to do.
just be sure it's what you want to do, and then once you're sure it's what you want to do, it will be easier to do it. Yeah.
But I've asked the same question to Fumi. Does she plan to take more people to go see?
Because it involves. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay. Because yeah, it involves a lot. Yeah, it involves a lot, especially travel. You need to travel to see what you want to see, so you can show people, document it properly and show people, and you need to have an inclination. You won't have a connection to it, and if there's no connection, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. That's why you have some portrait photographers. Yeah, they have connection to people. That's why they are portrait photographers. Yeah, those ones that bring out the best poses from people and able to show the best side of people. For nature photography, you have to be connected to nature. You have to understand nature. You have to be inclined to nature. So I think that's it.
Okay, before it gets worse than this, I'd like to thank you so much, Doctor, for joining me. And also, I'm thanking Fumi, even though she's no longer here. This network
It's a pleasure.
It's sad, but it's okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. I wish the best, and we look forward to see more of the pictures. And thank you so much, Fumi, for joining me. Thanks to everyone who joined in. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
All right.
Bye.